Today I've got a very exciting show. I think you're going to enjoy Commissioner's Corner. We're going to be meeting with a group of business leaders in our community, small business owners. We're meeting today actually at Visit Kitsap Peninsula, their new location at Old Town, and you'll be meeting leaders from that organization today. But principally, we're going to talk about the Silverdale Way Transportation Project. You're going to hear that a few times. Silverdale Way Transportation Project. What that means is it's a public-private partnership, collaboration between businesses and local government, and helping these local businesses stay in business, increase their business, hopefully, during this transportation project on Silverdale Way. Look forward to that. I hope you'll enjoy that. Today you're going to see how I believe this public-private partnership or collaboration is especially important for local governments. Mixing together with local businesses, the governments, we're working to make a stronger economy, and we're going to do that together. We're doing it now. You're going to hear about that today. With me today, I have some very interesting people that are players in the Central Kitsap Old Town business market. Let me start out with David Brumsicle. David is to my left, has a bicycle shop for years and years and years, and he'll talk to us a little later about the traffic in Kitsap and how we're working together to minimize any impact on the businesses. We also have Patty Graff Hope, Visit Kitsap Peninsula, new location here today, or at least it's a new location for me, new digs for you guys. I believe Monica Dowden will be joining us shortly. She's been delayed a bit, but she has, everyone knows Monica's in Old Town. So let me start out with you, Gunnar, and you're with the Public Works Department, of course, Kitsap County Public Works Department. What is your role? But before you answer, Transportation Silverdale, projects now, projects in the future, and what about this traffic on Silverdale Way?
Well, I think the traffic on Silverdale Way has been going fairly well for as intensive of a project as we've had. You've got to realize we've got a project that's almost $8 million. Just over $3 million is nothing but utility work, which means we've got to be underground for quite a bit of that work and getting all those new pipes and conduits and everything else. This project is, of course, phase 2 of 4 phases for Silverdale Way from Anderson Hill to the SR3 route. The first phase was the roundabout. Second phase is the phase we're currently doing now between Byron and Anderson Hill. And then the third phase is supposed to be from the roundabout up to Byron Street. And then the last phase will be that portion out to the highway.
But right now, today, this month, December, Christmas 2017, we're just talking about the phase that goes basically from the feed store to where?
To about 550 feet south of the feed store.
And the landmark there would be?
There's an old driveway down there that is partially abandoned, and that's the driveway. That's kind of the terminus of our project right there.
Okay. So everyone that visits Silverdale has called me, I think. Everyone in the entire county has called me about the road traffic. But I'd like to point out that we've had challenges with the traffic, but we're working quite well, I think, in the county. I'll give the Public Works Department immense credit. Working quite well with regard to traffic and minimizing the delays. I'd like the public to make sure that they remember, if they would, Buckland Hill Bridge a year ago. When we opened the Buckland Hill Bridge, it was a year of no access there, and we had to scout our own route. How are we doing now with scouting our own route on Silverdale Way Transportation Project?
I think, again, we're doing very well. We've had a very good collaboration with the businesses to be able to put literature out, especially with Visit Kitsap Peninsula and our PR group, Joe Mantz. And we've got, we continue to broadcast the message and let folks know that the businesses down here are open. And just to take a little bit of a look at our website, check your traffic, and then find your route into town.
And I want the public at home to understand and to know that we're going to get this done. And it's going to be done within a year, but we're not going to close that road completely. So the traffic will continue. But let's move, Gunnar, to the Silverdale Way project specifically. Why, when, and what's the progress? Why are we doing this, number one? When's it going to be done, number two? And talk about the progress. What progress have we made on Silverdale Way improvement project that we just described?
Okay. So far, what we have for progress, or what we have for the project, is this really is a capacity and safety project. When a initial report was done for Silverdale Way back in 2000 and I think the original report dates from 1998, but then we did an assessment in 2012, and it identified this corridor as one of those corridors that we needed to be able to provide capacity on.
How many people a day travel that corridor?
I think the count is right about between 17 and 20,000 people a day.
Wow.
So there's quite a few folks that are on that roadway. We need to be able to widen it. We'll be doing that with the 5-lane section all the way down to Byron Street. And again, eventually that add-on project in the future will be going all the way down to the roundabout. As far as today, the project is, we have a very good contractor out there, Secani Incorporated. They have gotten almost all of the underground utility work completed now, that $3.5 million or so that I mentioned earlier. And we're really starting to get up and out of the ground. Depending on how the weather is, we get a decent winter. We don't get a really wet spring like we did last year. I think you're going to start seeing concrete curb and gutters towards the end of January starting to go in.
Fantastic. So would it be fair to say, without putting you on the spot from Public Works, that we're making progress as we had hoped we would?
We are making fairly well progress. Again, we are very weather dependent, and it is a year-long project. We're hoping to have everything completed by September next year.
Gunnar, I failed to ask the question before that I think is very important for the public at home, and that is this Silverdale Way project that we've been talking about. It's not just a road project. It's not just a safety project. It's not just a pretty project with new bushes and new designs on the road. It's also an infrastructure project, as I understand it. And things are happening as we speak, underground. What's going on?
You bring up a very good point, Commissioner Wolfe. We do have, this project is a combination project. It is an overall road project, but we do have a lot of utility work. One of the exciting features of the project is the fact that we have 2 very large modular wetlands going in, one which is going in on Pacific Avenue close to the port property.
What's a modular wetland?
Modular wetland uses a media, basically a soil, dirt to filter stormwater through to be able to clean it before we release it into Dyes Inlet. And we have 2 of those going in, one on Pacific that will discharge directly to Dyes at the end of Pacific Avenue. The second is going in by the Jenny Wright, the old elementary school, which is now the admin offices for the school district. That one will discharge directly into Strawberry Creek. And they're fairly large concrete vaults with lids on them and with this media inside of it. We are redoing all the storm lines going into the
Let's go back
basin.
to the vaults a minute. Since I kayak right out here, you were talking about discharging into Dyes Inlet. Why is this a good thing they were putting in a vault?
Because right now we have roughly about 44 acres of upland area that are flowing into Dyes Inlet as we speak, pretty much untreated. And this will allow us to do some treatment of those surfaces to be able to help us keep Dyes Inlet clean.
So it's an increased water quality project also.
That
I
is
made that up,
correct.
but I think that's true. Yeah.
Yes, that is correct. It
Very
is a
good.
water quality project as well.
That's a big piece.
It is a very large piece.
Yeah.
Yes,
What else
correct.
is happening underground?
The other thing, the really large that we're working with is we're working with all the private utilities. That includes,
Water?
excuse me,
Puget Sound?
Energy, Comcast, Wave, KPUD, and right now this section of Silverdale Way is all above ground aerial utilities. Everything's hanging on the poles out there. Most of Silverdale, it was very visionary back in the day when the county started doing the original road improvement projects here to support the mall and all the businesses back in the 80s. A lot of Silverdale was undergrounded. When you look at Ridgetop, you look at everything north of Buckland Hill Road, everything is underground. So in continuing with that, we are also putting all this section of Silverdale Way underground with all those utilities.
Okay. This is fantastic. When you're talking about water quality, I mean, who in Kitsap County, who that lives in Kitsap County wouldn't want to hear about better water quality, increased water quality? And you're giving me engineer speak to a lot of this, but it's sounding very good, very good.
Okay.
So thank you for giving us that information, and we'll come back to you, Gunnar. But let me transition over to a couple of the individuals that are here today from the business world primarily. We've got Patty Graff Hogue from Visit Kitsap Peninsula. We're in her new location, absolutely gorgeous. How do you work with all this water out here? Patty is here, and David Brumsicle, who has the bicycle shop, he's going to talk about that. Gunnar, you're the project lead director for this whole Silverdale improvement project. You've given us a lot of information today. I'm going to transition now for our friends at home to actually Old Town and friends and businesses in Old Town. Monica Downen is here at the end. Patty Graff Hogue in the middle, Visit Kitsap Peninsula, and David Brumsicle with Silverdale Cyclery with a new sign up there. I think it's a new sign. So let's talk a little bit, if we could, Monica and Patty and David, about Monica. Let me start with you and David. Tell us a little bit about yourselves and what you do and why you do it, and your business in Old Town.
Well, my husband and I have Monica's Waterfront Bakery and Cafe in Old Town, and we've been doing that for about 11 and a half years. Okay. My prior career was law enforcement, and his was automotive mechanics, so this is a change for us. And we just love being a part of the community. We make everything from scratch. We're bakery, cafe, full catering, and we feel like we're the heart of Old Town.
And I'll just throw out, as an aside, I remember meeting with Josh Brown many times when he had my position. Josh Brown, no longer county commissioner, and he says, let's meet at Monica's. Every time I met with Josh Brown, we met at Monica's. I think he liked your pastries.
We were a satellite office.
Oh, you were? Well, hopefully he wasn't charging the county for that.
No.
That's a joke, by the way.
Yeah.
So, Monica, you've seen some change probably in the past month or two with regard to traffic, and tell us what, in your opinion, if you would, how's it working today in terms of working with the government, local government, of course, and maybe minimizing some of this impact to local businesses, particularly in your case at Monica's?
Well, over the past, probably starting since September, we've definitely noticed a reduction in business, and our numbers have gone down. And I gave us some time before I reached out to say anything to anyone, because I wanted to see what would happen.
You called and emailed me twice.
So, but I waited till October for that.
Okay.
And you've been very responsive, and I'm feeling very hopeful now. Our numbers are still quite a bit lower than where we'd like to see them, and we're adjusting. We're trying not to cut hours for our staff, but we are feeling more hopeful because of things like this and the other involvement with Visit Kitsap and all the surrounding businesses.
Visit Kitsap's been so instrumental in helping pull this together. We'll talk about that in a minute, though. So, David, tell us about this cyclery, Silverdale Cyclery, and you're right on where all the action is on
Silverdale Way. Yes. So, as of next week, it will be 33 years.
Wow.
In that location.
Wow.
So we've been there long enough to see whole generations of kids be born to parents, and now they're having their own kids.
I've purchased bikes there. My wife also. Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So we have kind of become a pillar of the community by virtue of being there for a long time, and we're just on the edge of Old Town Silverdale, but we still consider ourselves part of Silverdale. And in the shop there, we do new bicycles. We sell used bikes for people who don't want new bikes. We repair them. We train young people, who are just getting their first job. And we always have young folks in there learning how the business world works. This recently, over the last about 4 years, we've really pushed advocacy. So I'm on the Citizens Advisory Committee for Non-Motorized Vehicles in the county. I'm part of that, and this last year I've been going to Silverdale traffic study meetings as a kind of a citizen advisor for that, and I'm also an avid hiker, biker, and I also have a daughter in the Central Kitsap School District. So
Can't be any more local than you are.
Pretty darn local, pretty darn local.
What makes, just another question, what makes Old Town Silverdale unique from other parts of, from Silverdale?
Yeah, well, Old Town, If you look back, Old Town is the original Silverdale. So 100 plus years ago, this was the business district. There were hotels down here. There were stores. This is where the original school was. And
Where was the original school?
the original school was just across the street from where the park is now.
Okay.
So this is remained really the soul of Silverdale. It's where the locals go to meet, like at Monica's. It's where kids take parents take their kids to the park, the beautiful waterfront park down there. And this is where a lot of the local small businesses and business offices are. And, I just was thinking about it today. I don't think there are any national chains or big box stores at all in Old Town. It's all just local folks.
My first law office was, what was the post office building called, where where the Broughton law office is? The post office.
Right, the old bank building.
Yeah. I had my law office there for 5 years, and I would walk down here at lunchtime just to have my lunch by myself, just to get away from everyone else. So let me transition to this project. And Monica talked about how the construction has impacted her business. Talk to the public, if you would, about what about your business?
Well, we're on Silverdale Way. We're about 150 feet from where the construction starts. So people can still pretty readily get to our parking lot. And the construction started at the beginning of our off-season. So we haven't seen a decrease in business so far. And I will say, too, that the county let all of us know about a year ago that the construction was coming. So we really planned for it. We got a new sign for the building, kind of spruced up the front.
So thank Gunner.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, it was Gunner, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
And we beefed up our online presence. Did try to bring in some products that would make people a little bit more interested in coming in, and we also encouraged our customers to find alternative ways to get to us, which all helped quite a bit. Now, in springtime, when our season picks back up again, that remains to be seen. We expect to see a little bit of a decrease in business because people may just not. They may find that it's a little bit more of an effort to get there. But
I think we're going to hear later. I know we're going to hear later from Visit Kitsap about finding solutions to bring the government together, local government together with the businesses, and anybody can jump in here, and what we can do to minimize the impact that both of you are talking about. And you're two of the 40 or 50 businesses that we've been meeting with regularly to try and do what we can, and I think we're going to talk about that in a minute. So can you share with us, either one of you, and then we'll move on to Visit Kitsap. What's your perspective on these conversations to date? I think we've had 3 meetings with businesses. We're on BCAT, Commissioner's Corner today. We've got the county just purchased banners. I'm not sure you're aware of that. We've purchased banners. They haven't been put up yet. This business is open. Connie Weissel's been taking a big lead on that from the Government Affairs Committee, and thank her very much. So what about these conversations? Is it helping?
Yeah, I would say yes. One of the interesting things so far is Patty at Visit Kitsap was able to provide a media package for us. So I personally downloaded from Visit Kitsap's website a big open for business sign, and I had it printed up as a big banner to put in front of the store to remind people to support local businesses and let them know that we're here. And I know also there were a bunch of flyers that went out encouraging people to find alternative routes to get to Silverdale businesses.
These are solutions to the problem that the businesses are faced with today, the impact of the businesses. And I want to just highlight again, and that's really the thrust of this Commissioner's Corner, is the public public-private collaboration, because the government can't do this alone, and the government won't do this alone, shouldn't do this alone. But I think the collaboration, this to me could be a model for other jurisdictions in Kitsap County, and maybe even in the region, maybe even in the state, about minimizing and helping businesses get through difficult times, because they will get better, like Buckland Hill Bridge.
Yes.
They will get better, and we won't remember those times when that whole road was closed. So what about some of those conversations to date and solutions? You've talked about a few of them. Any more?
Monica?
Well, the conversations have been great because I came up in the business ideology of you don't share things like that with anybody. You don't, if business is down, you just smile, you grin and bear it. And so we've been sharing the conversation not just with the people at this table, but with the other neighboring businesses and with our customers, and keeping the conversation going. And people are interested in knowing what's happening and how it's affecting us. And we've definitely had a wonderful response from customers saying, we're purposely finding a different way to come in.
Yeah, that's helpful. Let me transition or turn it over to Patty Graff. Patty, talk to me about what do you do? We know what you do, but tell the public what you do and what Visit Kitsap Peninsula has done on this project.
Thank you, Ed, and we're really honored that you're having your last Commissioner's Corner of 2017 right here in the new Visit Kitsap Peninsula offices, so thank you.
That was a good plug for you.
And Visit Kitsap has been in business since 1983. We are the official Washington State recognized destination marketing organization, and we're responsible for marketing and creating economic development for Kitsap's tourism industry and promoting the region to attract visitors. One of our primary missions is to help local hoteliers, which generate about $35 million in retail sales in 2016, and that's a 33% increase in 4 years. Give a little plug to our fabulous lodging industry. And two of the largest hotels are right here in Silverdale, the Silverdale Beach, Oxford, and then we have the Quality Inn. And combined, they represent about 300 hotel rooms or about 200 visitors a day. So Old Town Silverdale is a very popular destination for our visitors, and I don't know if you're aware of, but Jim Dunwoody, head of Parks and Rec, has told me many times that the Silverdale Waterfront Park is the most popular public park in Kitsap County.
I might add, brand new playground equipment last year.
Yes, and brand new playground. It's also one of our most important venues. I like to refer to our Kitsap County parks as venues without walls. And we have a lot of events that are hosted down at the park. So making sure that our visitors that are here from out of the area have easy access or know about what's going on in those attractions that they want to go visit. It was really important for us to participate in this project, the Open for Business program. So when we were invited to participate with the county and the local business organizations, our mission was to create a program that would be beneficial to our visitors, and by having them be beneficial to the visitors means that those businesses are open for business.
Do me a favor. While you're talking about open for business, show the public at home what that means in terms of a placard.
So I happen to have a little.
Oh, you happen to have
kit.
one. How
I
surprising.
do. So this was the Open for Business sign.
Yeah.
And what we did was, for the small business, I want to address the issues that both Monica and Dave had said. They're small businesses, they're running their businesses, they're busy. Monica's providing unbelievably delicious cookies and breads and lunches. And our mission was to help create tools for the businesses that they could use. we can't be there for them to communicate with their customers, but we can create the tools. That's what our expertise is: marketing, public relations, outreach programs. That's what we develop. So what we did is we listened, we attended the meetings that you hosted. We really appreciate that. We thought they were excellent as well, and we heard what the needs were of the businesses. So we immediately developed a program that what we refer to as a turnkey program. In other words, it is something that it can be used by any of the businesses, any of the times. So we just simply created tools. We created website pages
And
that
all
had
of this, excuse me
alerts.
for interrupting, but all of this is available online.
Online,
So
right.
do you have the
Yes.
webpage? Where does the public go to find out about this
So
information?
we're working with Joe Meintz, as you said,
Public
with
Works.
Public Works, and so we have created on the Visit Kitsap website. So it's www.visitkitsap.com
Right.
/ Silverdale alerts, and we can make that available so you'll have it on the screen for people, and that shows the alerts, the updates that are provided by Public Works. Provides regular updates
Every week?
Yes,
Every week?
all the time that are on that page. There's also
Okay.
a map for
Okay.
visitors.
Okay. I see that I'm
Yeah.
getting waved
Oh,
by
you are.
the director that we're running short on time.
Okay.
But I'd like to hear, if before we close, what can our viewers at home do to ensure that these Old Town businesses stay open and thrive? What can the public at home
Visit
do?
'em.
And spend money.
Buy some
And spend-
bikes.
Spend money. Yeah.
Buy some cookies.
I would say, for the public, I know over this next year it's going to be difficult to get to Old Town businesses, but there's plenty of information about alternative ways to get
Okay.
down here.
Okay.
And it's really important. We're small people, we're small businesses. We really appreciate the extra effort.
Go
that it takes.
online and look at the alternate
Yes,
routes.
look at the alternative routes.
Scout the
Yep.
new route. Yeah.
Yep.
Go
The
ahead.
only thing I would like to point out is what David referenced to is our website. Very easy to find if the viewers would just go ahead and Google in Kitsap Panoramic. It will take you right
Okay,
to the
good.
Public Works
Very
site.
good, very good.
And then you can just kind of zoom in. You'll find the icon for Silverdale Way, and you click on that. It
Very
opens
good.
up, and you can sign up right there to be able to get those weekly updates and find out what we're doing for construction.
Weekly updates every Friday. They're out.
Actually, we try now. We've had to adjust them slightly. They're out every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
And Wednesday at 10 a.m.
Misinformed. They're out every week.
They're out every week.
Good, good. Local businesses are the backbone of our economy. The backbone of our economy. We need to support these local businesses. They make for a healthy community. They make for a safe community. So, saying that, I'm hoping that other jurisdictions in Kitsap County will take a look at what we're doing here, this public-private collaboration, and maybe use it as an example, and work with the chambers of commerce, and work with the local businesses, and work with the government affairs committees, and work with Visit Kitsap tourism agencies. These are solutions that help all of us make our community better and stronger. I encourage you once again, shop local, shop in Old Town. They're open, and thanks for stopping by Commissioner's Corner, and Merry Christmas.